What's up? What's up? What's up? I hope all of you are doing well. I know all of you are doing well now that you've graced this channel. Before I get started, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click that little notification bell, and please make sure you have your notifications set so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video. So welcome, you guys. If you are new and if you are an OG subscriber, welcome back. And as you guys know, on this channel we talk about all things inspirational as well as delve into the dream world. I am your favorite dream interpretation specialist. So if you have a dream that is a little bit difficult for you to understand and you need interpreted, I will leave my information in the description box below. I wanted to talk to you guys today about why I believe a lot of older women are angry, bitter, and jealous of younger women. And I want to speak from the perspective of someone who has battled these type of emotions. I know a lot of women find it hard to admit that they're jealous or they're bitter or they're angry. And I think that that is a part of the healing that we need to do as a whole, is to be comfortable with admitting when you're bitter, when you're angry, or when you're jealous. We tend to act as if we're not, and this goes for women no matter what your age, but I think that it is important for us to understand that being jealous or being bitter or being angry, there's a deeper cause to a woman being bitter or being jealous or being angry. And it is all about unresolved things that she has going on within herself. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm telling you, I've been bitter. I've been the bitter older lady. I am wise enough now that I am older to admit that, but I understood why I had those emotions, and I was okay with saying, you know what, I'm bitter. You know what, I'm angry. You know what, I am jealous. Now, let's identify why these things are, right? At the core of these three, what they consider negative emotions, it's only a suppressed desire. It's only suppressed desire that has not been expressed. You know, once I reached my 40s and I realized that I wasn't where I wanted to be in life, it caused me to feel inadequate, especially in the climate that we're in now, you know, in a world that we're living in now where, you know, you look on social media and people your age got their shit together. Women who are younger than me, you know, they're in Lamborghinis. You guys forgive me, I'm outside, so the ants are tearing me up. Girls, you know, half your age are taking trips to Dubai, you know, having black girl luxury lives and things of that nature. You're not there. There's a lot of hidden secret jealousy. And I've experienced this, and this is why I wanted to do this video, because I'm not the only one. It is just so difficult to get people to admit, especially women, to admit they're bitter or they're angry or they're jealous, especially when they're older women. They don't want to admit this. It causes a lot of friction. It's causing a lot of discord between us and the younger generation, and we need to bridge this gap. So I don't look at these emotions as negative emotions and things that I need to suppress or I need to deny. I embrace them. There is an opposite to everything. So if you are feeling a negative emotion, that means that there is a positive emotion that is attached to it that you have just not uncovered yet. That's all that means. So if I'm bitter, how can I make my life more sweet? This is why I'm bitter. I'm bitter because I am not making my life sweet. How can I do that? I'm angry. How can I be filled with joy? I'm jealous. How can I be filled with confidence? You see, I wanted to give some reasons why, because I've gone through this. I have did my healing journey and understood exactly why that was, and I'm still in the process of healing. I'm not perfect. I have my moments still, because I am not where I want to be yet, because I've had to literally deconstruct my life and go from square one to damn near zero. Well, child, zero. And I wanted to preference this before I got into the real topic. And so I'm going to be giving some reasonings as to why I believe older women are bitter, angry, and jealous of younger women, because these are things that I have personally observed and or things that I have personally experienced within my own self. So if you guys see me looking down, of course, I got my notes. So reason number one, this is one that I can definitely resonate to because I was like this up until my late 30s. And so I'm just gonna spill it. Most older women are male identified. So what I mean by that is that a lot of us from my generation back, there are a lot of things that we weren't able to do unless a man was present. Like they couldn't open up bank accounts, they couldn't drive cars. We were always pushing for the male to be the leader, you know, for the male to have his identity. It was important for us back then as women, for men to have an identity, and it was important for us to be the support system behind that. So, reason number two, younger girls don't look up to us because they don't want to live the life that we had. No, that's kind of a hard pill to swallow because younger girls saw what we went through. Like most girls, and I hate to say this, but most of us, especially even when I was a kid, I saw the life that my mother had. I didn't want that life. I did not want that life for myself. Seeing her struggle. There are so many women that see their mothers and their grandmothers struggle, even when they're in relationships. They see them struggle. They see the things that they had to go through, and they just don't want to live that life. And I think that the fact that they don't want to be like us makes us feel inadequate. It makes us feel like we failed. It makes us feel like we were not good enough for them to want to emulate being like us. And so I think a lot of the jealousy comes, and the bitterness and anger comes from that standpoint too. They just don't want to live the life that we had, a struggle life. It's my opinion. I'm entitled to have one. Number three, marriage is not as much of a priority as education. Most women married because that was the only way out of their parents' houses. This is part of the reason why a lot of women married. Marriage is just not as a priority as education because education gives women of this generation a certain freedom that Black women just did not have the luxury of having back then. And I think that's another reason why, you know, the older generation of women are jealous, bitter, and angry, because women are not having to, again, go into the male identified portion of this. They don't have to identify with being with a man to have freedom. Now, education is a woman's freedom. And so I think that's where a lot of the, saltiness comes from too. Number four, the lack of understanding how technology changed the landscape for Black women. There's a lot of talk about what happened back in the days, and I say that too, just because I grew up, in that in-between generation. I grew up where there were house phones, but I also adapted to having cell phones. I grew up in a time where we had to write phone numbers down, but now I'm also part of the generation that, you just program a number in your phone and, I grew up in a generation where when you wanted to meet a guy, you went to the mall. This is what we did. Now I'm also part of the generation where if you want to meet a guy, you meet them online. And so I think that from women from my generation back, they don't really understand how technology has changed things, and they make it seem as if it was so much better in the days of old. And it's that's true in certain aspects, but in certain aspects, technology has opened up a whole different world and a whole different myriad of opportunities for Black women that back before technology happened, we wouldn't have had these opportunities. And so I think that's another reason too why, the jealousy and the bitter and the angerness sets in as well. Number five, They're not depending on men to die in order to obtain wealth. Now, in my generation on back, of course, most of the time when a woman wanted to acquire some type of wealth, her husband had to die, or, transfer that wealth over to her. Baby, they're not doing it no more. These young girls are out here getting it. They're not waiting on a man to give them anything. They are taking control of their lives. They are taking control of their destinies. They're holding their destinies in their hands, and they are here getting the shmoney, baby. Number 6. Child, y'all might cancel me. Having a man for the sake of having a man, it's not enough. Back in my day, in the days of old, men could pretty much get away with anything. Because where were you going? What you gonna do? Where you gonna get the money? How you gonna leave me? It was shunned upon for women to leave men back in those days because the thing that you needed came from the man. A lot of women just had to put up with a lot more crap back then. Let's just be honest. We had to be the peacekeepers. We had to keep the peace in order for us to have a sense of stability. And that came with a lot. Let's be honest. Let's keep it real. That came with a lot. Grandma went through some hell with Grandpa. Let's not sugarcoat this now. And so because there isn't this need to be in unhealthy relationships, the women today they're not going. Women have standards now that men have to meet in order to be with them. And it's not like, don't blame Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie's just a man and he's just doing the best he can. That's not enough. Not today. I was in a relationship with a man, and he was telling me about his stepfather and growing up with his stepfather. His stepfather used to sexually abuse his sisters. I talked to his mother. She had to put up with the sexual abuse of her children just to say that she had a man to provide for them. And there are so many stories that are out here like this. I know so many women who have been put out of their mother's homes because she would rather have the man than to have a relationship with her own children. I know women whose fathers sexually molested them and the mother put them out just for the sake of having a man. And baby, the girls, they're not going for that. That's over with. Number 7, women are being more and more vocal about what they desire sexually. It's no longer about, oh, I got mine, the 68 and I owe you one. If y'all are part of my generation, y'all know what that means. But women not going for that. No, you are going to please her. She is going to tell you how she wants to be pleased. She's going to tell you right, left, up, down. This is how I like to be pleased. The generation of girls are not afraid to express their likes or dislikes with men sexually. Number 8, having children is not a top priority. Most women of the younger generation do desire to have children. They're just not in a rush to have them. They want other things. They want to explore life. They want to do certain things. They want to get educated. They want to be financially stable. They want to be self-sufficient. It's so many other things that women want to do now. And this is why women are desiring to have children later on in life, because they just realize it's a lot of life to live out there. I think that's another reason why, the older women are bitter, angry, and jealous. And what's sad is that, oh, what's wrong with you not wanting to have children, and something must be wrong with you. You know who that's coming from mostly? It's mostly older women. Like, why would you think something is wrong with a woman because she does not want to have children at the moment, or not at all? I mean, can you blame them? Look at the shit that she's seen you go through having kids. She don't want to be a part of that. Number 9, soft life, black girl luxury, and a life of self-love and ease makes older women jealous because they did not have the luxury to do so. This was one of the ones that I had to struggle with too. Seeing the girls go on their vacations, and I'm like, dang, I spent a lot of my time being the ride or die chick. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be down for the cause. And because I spent a lot of my energy being male identified, seeing the girls going on these trips, taking girls trips, living their best life, spent a lot of my youth wasted on not even identifying as a woman and tuning into my own needs. But I was so not only male identified, but I was still searching for my father and other men and other traumatic experiences that I was still unhealed from. It caused a lot of unresolved issues within myself. So when I would see the girls living their best lives, it's like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. But now I look at it as being jealous in a good way, because I really love that and I aspire to do that. And the younger generation of girls has inspired me. Like, they sparked a new interest in me. So it's like, wow, we really paved the way for them to have this type of life. Now I think that it is time for us to do what the young girls are doing. Get out here and enjoy your life. Hey, I'm not too old. You know what I mean? I can get out here and live the life and be the rich auntie. Number 10. Younger women are exploring their options in life. They're no longer dating endogamously now. And what I mean by that is they're no longer just dating within their particular areas or their particular clan. Black women are starting to dip on out there. Younger girls are going where they're celebrated and not just sticking to a specific group of men because this is what you're supposed to do. And I think that a lot of times when older women see that, we tend to be angry about that for whatever reason. But younger women just want to be happy and they want to go where they're celebrated. And, it is what it is. And this is going to be a bonus one because I'm starting to see this happen even more and more as we enter into this age of Aquarius. The younger generation is just less religious. A lot of the younger generations now, they're more spiritually awakening. And they're not going to church as much, but they're finding their own tribe and, being more spiritual and getting more into the earth and crystals and things of that nature. And I'm here for it. Me personally, I'm here for it. But I think that the older generation, because they've been so indoctrinated with religion and there's only one way and it's only one God, and that was kind of forced and beaten and shoved down their throat. Younger generation who has been exposed to travel and who has been exposed to education, their minds have expanded beyond what the older generation had at that particular time. Black women, we're going to the Caribbean, we're going to Africa, we're going to these Native American retreats here in America. We're going and we're exploring different things, and we're seeing that Black people everywhere practice different things. They look at God and they view God in different ways. The internet has connected us as well. As I stated previously, this is another disconnect where we're seeing that, not vibing with it. Most people now in this new age, they're going based on their vibrations. That old Abrahamic traditions is over with. They're just more in tune with spirituality now, more so than religion. Well, you guys, I'm going to wrap up this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. I am going to leave you now, but I will be holding on to your love. See you in the next one.